Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your 7-card draw. What do I need? Shadow read for this full moon in Capricorn in June, waning to the new moon in Cancer in July. I am your reader, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, the Archangel of Lyons. Mark Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal-El. Yay! Because I'm a human supernova, a solar superman. An angel of wings and of fire, a frying, jarring friction blast. You bet you're bippy that I am. My beloved Saggies, my hunters, let's get down to business. 7-card draw, 1 card from 7 different card systems. We've got 2 tarot, 3 oracles, 2 healing systems. Do the math, that do make 7. To get you clues, tips, and hints, you need about a specific timeline. We are looking at the 2-week period at the time of this reading. Actually, yesterday was the day of the full moon in Capricorn, June 24th. This is a waning moon reading taking us to the new moon in Cancer, the opposite sign of Capricorn, July 9th, which is a Friday, just for your info, right? So we're gonna tune to my pantheons of the divine, talking to you, through me, through the systems on the table to get you the clues, tips, and hints you need about letting go, forgiving, that aspect of healing, the releasing, the reviewing, all of that waning moon stuff. And it's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And if you want to go deeper, it is easy enough to book me for a reading. Facebook Messenger, Mark Angelo Lyons in Holbrook, New York. Twitter at ProfWitch. Mark Angelo Lyons on Instagram. You can even try emailing me at drawingthecircle@gmail.com. There's a lot of spam that comes in. It takes me a while to sort through it all to find just the social media is just easier. Check out my book, Words of Grace, blah, blah, blah. Tired of talking about it. So let's get down into your reading, shall we, please? All I can ask for anyone watching any of my readings is both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath, if you will. That's certainly going to make it easier to take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Sometimes, the other people show up in the readings and then you're not exactly sure who it's for. So take your time. They told me before I hit record, slow down on this one. And as you can see, not the easiest thing. The energy's high for you. So let's get up in this gig. Please take a nice deep breath. All the decks that I read are always in the bottom of the description box with other stuff to check out, but not just mine. I believe in there, particularly if you're interested in the Caroline Mace archetype cards that we're going to start off with. One more deep breath. All right, keep my feet on the floor. My collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters, and the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. Please, what is the dominant archetype? The soul power, being alchemized from lead to gold, shadow to light, toxic to healthy. For the Sagittarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, watching this video, receiving this reading, whether it's their archetype for a reason, season, or lifetime, or whatever's going on in that 8th chakra, overlighting everything else, really influencing everything else. Could be someone else, a situation that they're in. Only they are going to be able to know that by the end of this reading. So please, what is the dynamic I'm feeling there that feels like lightning's about to strike this full moon in Capricorn, waning to new in Cancer? Okay, the dilettante archetype, creative family archetype, but usually the word dilettante, it always has that dilettante, right? A little bit of salty rim to the word. Oh, that didn't sound right, but I think you know what I mean. Yeah, margaritas. The shadow attribute, pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess, which, is just never a good idea, but particularly, it's the dabbler. That, to me, that is the shadow side of it, is the dabbler, and it's a creative family archetype. There are 9 different families. Everybody's got their creative. For me, I have the artist. This is the dilettante, another means into that. I mean, like for instance, I love to cook. It's definitely a creative part of my energy, but I'm not a chef. I don't want to be a chef. So I can relate to it in that sense, in the light. Delights in the arts without having to be a professional. Rock on, right? Alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. I mean, I got Blue Apron for, you know, a couple of months, so I was eating better, eating right, you know, locked up at home, working from home. And I had a lot of fun, but now it's like, I want to go food shopping again, right? So it's a shifting thing, right? And I've DoorDashed plenty too. So only you are going to know how this is going to be alchemized, or let's just say it can be alchemized. But whether it's yours for a reason, a season, a lifetime, somebody else's, just be careful with with the dark arts. You really don't want to dabble in the dark arts, because you find out at the end that every curse is a blessing and every blessing is a curse, because it's all one and the same to the gods and the archangels. So let's ask the angels and the archangels for the healing with the Angels Oracle message here for you. Please take a nice deep breath. Yeah, I feel like they are passing around my crown chakra like it's open mic night. Please, I call upon the angels of fire, the direction of the south. Get back in there. The angels of fire, the angels and the archangels of fire, the sign of Sagittarius, powers of the south, the Michaelites, the archangelic legions of Michael. Please, one card in clarity for this Sagittarian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading. The dilettante archetype can be so joyful and so inspiring for others when they can really just go with the flow of it. And like, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm really loving this, instead of having to pretend something that's not really there for them. So what is the healing angel to help them with that alchemy? This full and capped to new and can. The healing angel of balance, which obviously is talking about something being out of balance. Now, the angels see things from a place of unity, so it's kind of easier for them to see what the third point of triangulation is. Like, even if you go Libra for a second, like the scales, well, there's the center point that does not move. So that's sort of the point they take, that as much as life is about imbalance coming into balance. Take a step forward, you're off balance for a split second, right? Until you boom. But without taking that risk, there's no moving forward. So whatever needs to be brought into balance here, be very, very clear if this is you, if you are the dilettante, because there are lots of toxic ways this can play itself out in other people as well, to really get that, okay, I may not know exactly what I'm doing here. Let me not be too superficial in this pursuit, but also I can delight in it without having to be a professional. I mean, I don't have to go so shallow. And particularly if these are the spiritual arts, the magical arts, in those ways, the healing arts, even though this is a creative family archetype. See, that's what I mean about a dilettante. Someone can be learning, studying the healing arts, and yet not healing themselves, that they're not going deep enough with it within themselves, and then there is a pretension to deeper knowledge than they actually possess. They may have the knowledge here, but not here. See what I mean? When you bring the arts into it, the healing arts, the magical arts, you know, it's not just about performing or visual arts. Let's get two of our tarot on the table here. First, the Daughters of the Moon Tarot for your heart, throat, third eye, crown dynamic, coming into alignment with that dilettante archetype up in your 8th chakra. Then we'll get the Mythic Tarot for the root, sacrum, solar plexus, from your inside, looking out at the physical aspect of this, or looking from the outside in at you, how you appear. Please take a nice deep breath. All right, my goddesses of fire in the sign of Sagittarius, the 9th house dynamic of expansion and spirituality. Feeling that very, very strong here. Please, one card in clarity for the Sagittarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. What do they need to be aware of inside of themselves? In their heart, throat, third eye, crown, their personal level of power, their emotional power, their will power, their mental power, and their spiritual power. Because this is a creative family archetype, and this is creative intuition, heart, throat, third eye, crown dynamic. Bringing that into balance. Maybe the balance here is balancing the head and the heart with choice. So, you know, so that they can express themselves or at least be clear of their mental emotional balance on this. What's going on this full moon in Cap to new in Cancer? There it is. The Chariot, the Amazon. Now, not necessarily bringing together, let's say, just the mental and the emotional, because certainly it is the Cancerian card. I mean, even the Amazon shield is the crescent moon there, and that is the waxing moon, the new to waxing moon, which we will be in Cancer. Interesting that that's there. But we know about the Chariot. It's about moving forward, certainly, but heart, throat, third eye, crown, that's very empowered feminine energy, balancing inspiration and motivation. And they're not the same. Inspiration and motivation are not the same. Inspiration is the carrot, motivation is the whip. Now, I've said this before. Every morning we get out of bed. Which horse is pulling us out of bed? We really do need both. Oh, what a great day it's going to be today. I can do this and this and this. I'm so inspired. But then there's also the, and we absolutely have to go to work and scoop the litter and do this stuff, because if we don't, right, and that's this world. That's this world. The want to and the have to, balancing that out so that we move forward in a stable, balanced way. Now, how this is going to come down into the root, sacrum, solar plexus, like I said, you from the outside looking in, or you looking out at something outside, that's a good way to say that, we will see. But certainly, we have the balance of light horse and dark horse here, but the Amazon has that power, that strength, that emotional strength to know that both are true, right? And honor both of them to move forward. Very, very strong. And I get a lot of passion here too. More emotional, honestly, like not so much solar plexus, but very, very much in the heart, that delight perhaps. Breathe. Why even say my gods of Sagittarius? My god of Sagittarius and the element of fire. Please, my beloved Zeus, all father, for the Hellenic Greeks, please, one card in clarity, my king, for this Sagittarian collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign. Hi, Papa. Watching this video. Here he is. Receiving this reading. Please, what's going on the outside here for the Sagittarian? Watching all of this, alchemizing the dilettante from lead to gold with the healing angels of balance, with the Chariot on the inner, and I'm getting such a good feeling in the heart there, but one that's got its oppositions in it. Things definitely need to be brought into balance here. So can you give us some root, sacrum, solar plexus clarity on this? The masculine energy, you could say the yang dynamic for them, this full moon in Capricorn, waning to new in Cancer. 3 Cups. I like this because, you know, a third-party situation. So far, this can absolutely be about you feeling an emotional bond to some person, place, or thing, right? This is not necessarily a love read, not necessarily with the dilettante archetype, and certainly with this feeling. This feels very personal. This feels like something inside of yourself. And in the Daughters of the Moon tarot, the Three of Pentacles is the clay woman, right? She takes the clay, it's a solid foundation, but hasn't been put in the kiln yet. It's still clay that she's molding. This is similar to that. This is like, okay, we've got here the Three of Cups. Now, this is the wedding of Psyche and Eros. It's a long myth, but they were married before she even knew what he looked like, because reasons, and then she found out, and it did not go well for reasons, right? We get to the 4 and the 5 of Cups in this deck, but the vibe that I get off of this is playful, is celebratory, is very much people raising glasses and toast, right? In toast of some celebration, some good feeling thing here, but something that might be a social event where I'm just going to warn you, I don't pretend. People really like humility. And I don't mean humiliation, I mean humility. That's why my book, Words of Grace, starts with the grace of humility. It's been a real lifesaver. People are terrified of me. They say, oh, you're really terrifying. I'm like, no, you're just afraid of your power. And I'm not anymore, and I don't know why, but I'm just, the grace of humility to know that you do not know, but you're willing to be shown. There's an innocence there. And then you can really delight in things, and people are going to say what they're going to say and think what they're going to think anyway. I mean, I went to Fashion Week for a whole bunch of years in service to a friend for 4 years, something like that, twice a year, and I knew I didn't know. And I sat across the table from Heidi Klum and Fern. Oh my God, let me not forget her name. No, the woman who created New York Fashion Week. Hopefully the guides will remind me. Brilliant woman. But, there I was, in a way, sort of like the innocent. If you're going to really be going into something with this chariot, and maybe you're a little scared as well as a little excited, then, get that. The more innocent and truthful you are, the better your balance is going to be, instead of pretending to be something that you're not. Authenticity or death for me, really, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it being inauthentic. It's not worth it, the waste of time and energy. So let's keep going here. Let's get you the healing mantra for this puppy. Please take a nice deep breath. All right. Gotcha. My Ascended Masters, please. General Assembly. One card in clarity for the Sagittarian Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, on watching this video, receiving this reading. What is the perfect healing mantra they need to alchemize this dilettante archetype into gold with the healing angels of balance and the Amazon, the chariot, the light horse and the dark horse, inspiration and motivation, balanced on the inner with the 3 cups on the outer. They're excited to get into that really, really good feeling vibe that does feel social and does feel like there's a strong emotional connection there. So, that dilettante archetype, maybe they're dealing with somebody else in that could be a challenge for them. So what's their perfect healing mantra you got for them to heal this? At least within themselves. This full moon in Capricorn, waning to new in Cancer. Unhooking the past. There is nothing to regret what I learned from my past. Inspiration to be better is certainly one thing. But motivation to not make the same mistake twice is, I think, equally as powerful. And until we've alchemized all this stuff, perhaps both need to be in place, right? Unhooking the past. There is nothing to regret what I learned from my past, particularly because the ego regrets. The soul respects that what you went through, you had to go through, and it couldn't have happened any other way in order for you to learn. I feel like somebody here has got, if not social anxiety, such a terrifying fear of being humiliated that, this has been a recurring issue. And now's the time maybe not to clear all of it, but to clear some of it. And I will tell you what I learned from Carolyn Mace's Entering the Castle, her work about the work of St. Teresa of Avila, that the first controlling fear of 3 that at least she defines in there is the fear of humiliation. And people say they're afraid of failure, and she goes, yeah, but if you fail and nobody knows about it, you're so afraid of it, and you're like, oh yeah, well no, that's not so bad, right? I can handle that. But she says, then I hope you get humiliated so that you realize you lived through it. And really, it's just about what other people think. But you say, oh, it's the first controlling fear. How many people have stayed in the closet in one way, shape, or form or other because of that? Right? That fear of humiliation. Well, and certainly not so long ago, and still going on now, there were other threats connected. But there is nothing to regret when I learned from my past. This is all about somebody being authentic. It would be nice if I turned to the exact page of the mantra. But I told them this morning with this full moon energy, they ripped me a new chakra last night. Well, 2, 3 in the morning. To just use me. Just use me as your channel today. I'm just along for the ride. Unhooking the past. There is nothing to regret when I learn from my past. When you unhook the past, you are able to see crucial moments of growth from fresh perspectives. Work. This allows you to see the mistakes of your past as catalysts for development, not as something you did wrong. And that is a hard thing to do if other people are like trying to remind you, remember when you were like, remember when you did that? Notch your arrow and shoot them in the third eye with truth. It is an opportunity to see how your previous actions could have been better aligned with your highest values. But when you learn today the things you didn't know before, you are able to meet your current circumstances with renewed clarity. So the past can be unhooked instead of repeated, right? So you thought unhooking the past meant a past life prostitute? Well, maybe that too. Hooker. This mantra is ideal for overcoming self-criticism. Not going to say you're immune to that, my Saggies. Releasing shame, because, you know, guilt is I've done wrong. Shame is I am wrong. Big difference there. And being more open-minded, which I think the Saggies are usually good on that front. Unhooking the past. Let's keep going. I think that speaks for itself here with this dilettante. Like, you can be really disarmingly honest and humble, but not the I'm a piece of crap humble, but like saying, no, I know that I don't know, and I'm just really enjoying this. And so would you mind if you asked me, if I asked you questions, expert? You know, uplift people by saying, no, I would love to know what you think about that. Yeah. Please, or maybe it's vice versa, and you're dealing with a dilettante who thinks that they know everything and don't, right? And maybe you're the expert. So, let's see. The Whispers of Love Oracle. This is the party turner, usually. Let's see. The higher selves of all involved, not just you, all involved. Because there are other people here. I just don't think it's one-on-one soul contract here. Does feel more. Not committee. Communal? Community, community, breathe. Yeah, the higher selves of all involved. Please, one card in clarity. For the Sagittarius Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, watching this video, receiving this reading, what is a piece of information, inspiration, or insight they need from the higher selves of all involved here to help them with this dilettante archetype, healing angel of balance. Chariot on the inner, Three of Cups on the outer, unhooking the past, because there's nothing to regret when they learn from their past. And with all these retrogrades that have been going on, now at least Mercury's direct, but we're still in the shadow of it. So what is the piece of information you have for them that will help clarify this full moon in Cap to New in Cancer? Spiritual connection, the party turner deck. This relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. Now we are talking about a soul contract. Twin flame soulmate, who the hell cares? It's going to be different for all of you. Lover, family member, whatever, does not say, but does say this relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. And that's probably true for the majority of people in our life. But this is now referring to someone specifically. So now, if you really have been feeling it all along that this Three of Cups is a situation involving a romantic dealio, and if you really want to go that there is a third party involved just because that is so common on YouTube, then I'm going to say, whatever you need to do or have done, unhook the past. There's nothing to regret, but do respect what you learned from it, right? Because there's some past life stuff going on here. And I think that's true always, but that card does not always come up, and nor is it always particularly relevant. Although, you know, we're all here to learn, grow, and become, and we're not these bodies, we're not these personalities. We are healing and integrating these bodies and these personalities into our souls, right? That's what the ascension is. It's as the soul anchors, the personality is lifted, ascended, and the ego unravels, right? That's the point of heaven on earth and all of that. But this really brings in something karmic. And if there is an emotional third-party romantic thing here, I don't know, but we still got one more card down. And I gotta say, with unhooking the past here, like there's some regret here. Just remember, only the ego regrets. the soul respects. Let's dig in. These have been beautiful in the reading, so let's do it. The blessed be, breathe. Okay, not a totally different energy, but certainly a gentler one, please. My collective pantheons of gods and goddesses, all pantheons, needed and necessary, please. One card in clarity for this Sagittarian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. Please, what is the blessing you would impart to the Sagittarians dealing with this dilettante archetype, alchemizing it from pretense to much deeper knowledge than they actually possess, to the delight in the arts without having to be a professional, alerting them to the dangers of becoming superficial in their pursuits and maybe even in their relational pursuits, with the healing angels of balance ready and willing and able to help them as they move forward, as they charge forward inside of themselves. Maybe their wheels spinning on the inner, but does feel like they are moving towards this Three of Cups, which initially feels like, I'm going to go back to that initial vibe on that. Yeah, I get the third party for somebody, some people, but that thing of a real joyful celebration here, that perhaps they have dropped the ball before with that dilettante archetype and maybe got caught in, or really saw some superficiality going on there. Because there is a karmic spiritual connection here, and this can possibly replay with this person, place or thing, but really a person here. So they're really getting the opportunity to heal this. So what is the blessing you would impart to them, please? This full moon in Capricorn, I feel that, to this new moon in Cancer, I have to say. Yeah, a blessing on a new venture. You're going back into a terrain creatively that you walked away from, and I think because you think you blew it before, but there's a spiritual connection with somebody there that is really calling this forth. This relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. I just can't tell. I mean, I'll read what's on this card. I'll read it from the bookie book. But it feels like this is so much more about you being okay with you and you really enjoying the delightful part of this. Because really, the Chariot on the inner and the Three of Cups on the outer is fine. But there is that other, there is some weirdness here too. There's definitely a karmic lesson going on here. Yeah, something beyond this lifetime. Let's see what the blessing says. Card number 20. I think this one came up. I don't remember. I don't write these down. I just write down the ones that are going in the title at this point because none of them on my clipboard. I mean, it's very Artemis, the energy on this card. Certainly. What card is it? Oh, it's card number 20. Well, the zeros and the nines are all scripty. Oh, and it's all on really a page and a half. Let me read this to you, but let me do it for real. Please take a nice deep breath. Card number 20, blessings on a new venture. A blessing to set direction, awaken determination, and establish a path through the unknown adventure ahead. That's depicted in these two cards right here. Here's the blessing. May you look into the unknown tangle of possibilities ahead and find a pathway through to your goals and dreams. May the arrow of your intention be drawn back with the commitment and a strong hand. May your eyes pierce the veils of the unknown, and may the arrow take flight and be sure and true. When you strike the mark, may your hopes be exceeded by the reality, and may the relish with which you begin the dream be equaled by the joy in bringing to life what were once only imagined possibilities. Let the way between you and your dream's maturity be clear and clean. Gather speed and arc above all obstacles. as it journeys towards its mark. As you begin, be certain of yourself yet open to adaptation. May you be clear on what it is you yearn for, yet as flexible as the bow. And may you be as sharp as the arrowhead, so that you may penetrate all that seeks to hold you back and find your mark, landing trust, bold and deep. Blessed be. Darlings, before I give you the final thing here, just follow your passion. We all make mistakes, but they're not really mistakes from the point of view of the gods and the archangels. The eternal children of the divine cannot sin in a hologram, gem or otherwise. Yeah, there's a lesson to be learned here. There is someone else involved. But don't you dare let anybody quiet your voice, your creative voice. Even if you don't share it right away, dabble away. Because this is really about saying whatever your new venture is, there may be mistakes made along the way. But if you can unhook the past little by little by little, right? Let me just give you the blessing. Please take a nice deep breath. My collective pantheons of the divine, please, may the Sagittarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, be blessed with all that they need. This full moon in Capricorn, waning to new in Cancer, that they may harness both their inspiration and their motivation in this new venture that they have just been blessed. That blessing on their new venture, so that they can absolutely delight in the arts without having to be a seasoned professional, and alerting them to the danger of becoming superficial in their pursuits with something that really is a good emotional bond, a nice emotional foundation. It's not a 10, it's a 3. But it feels good, and it feels like something that is delighting them and opening their hearts so that they can really unhook the past, because there's nothing to regret when they learn from their past. And there is a spiritual connection in play here. Some relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime, and therefore there is a lesson to learn. So may they call upon the healing angels of balance to bring them into the balance necessary to see this all from a higher plane, releasing the regret of the past and leaning into this blessing of the new venture before them with great passion, inspiration, and motivation in perfect balance for their well-being and for the well-being of all. Yeah, so mote it be. So it is. Because we want our Saggies to be expansive and risk-takey, so us Virgos can stay at home and talk about it. No, I've always had Saggies in my life. I love my Sagittarians. They're just so wonderful. Mutable fire, I'm mutable earth, Virgo's mutable earth, so, we're at angles to each other, but that doesn't mean we can't have a good time. A lot of fun with Saggies in this life. So wishing you a good time for this. I mean, really, I get the waning part of it, right? The unhooking the past. It could be a pain in the ass, but worth it. You don't carry all that with you. And by all means, if you want to go deeper into this, like I said, find me Facebook, Twitter, Insta, however. All my deets are always in the description box. Check out my book, Words of Grace. Like, you don't even have to buy it right away. Just go review it. You get the Kindle app for free, and check it out. Otherwise, if you like this reading, like it, helps other people see it. You want more of me? Subscribe, because I am a niche market, and I am so okay with that at 52 years old. Yes. I know I don't look it. Thank you. Otherwise, wishing you all the very best and the very blessed. We had to have fun, didn't we, Sag? Of this full moon in Capricorn to new moon in Cancer, my beloved Saggy Archer. Hail, farewell, and blessed be.